What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to Funny Bits Podcast. We are live on this glorious Friday Eve, and I'm super excited because we have a jam-packed show for y'all. And I'm gonna bring in the crew. They are waiting anxiously, chomping the bit. First guy I'm bringing in, he was my original co-host. He's an amazing, funny comedian. Want y'all to get ready for the one, the only. Carl Rogers is here, y'all. What's up, Carl?
What's up? What's up? What's up? Everybody in the place, yeah.
You know what? You ready? You ready for this?
Get it.
All right. So, next guy coming in is no stranger. Obviously, we brought him on board. He's been with us over a year now. I'm super excited that we're all back together, and this is the third week, and he is another very hilarious comedian. Everybody, Larry XL is in the building. What's up?
Hey, what's up?
What's going on, man?
Larry.
And last but not least at all, this my baby girl, but she grown, y'all. She grown. And she's our resident millennial on our podcast, y'all. Kayla's here. Woo!
Hey guys.
What's up?
Kayla.
Hey.
Okay. So let's get down to Bill's nails. I am super excited. Thank y'all for tuning in to Funny Bits Podcast, formerly known as Funny Bits Radio. We are back with a vengeance, y'all. We are back. And welcome. Martina is here, y'all. Martina Brown is here with us. Hey,
Martina, what's up, girl?
Thank you. One of our loyal watchers so far. Thank you. Please tell a friend. We appreciate you. We're going to jump right into it.
Get in it.
We have a lot to talk about. We always have a lot to talk about. And, we got to keep it tight. I'm going to let y'all know I have another show following this. If you haven't already gotten your tickets for Fools for Good, it's going to be a dope ass show. It's a showcase for Black Lives Matter and a couple of other organizations that help with Black lives in general. So there's a Facebook event for Fools for Good. Check it out. Get your ticket. It's on Eventbrite. I'm one of the headliners tonight. It's going to be amazing. That's all I'm going to say. All right. So let's get into it. Are y'all excited? Let me see I got to check in with y'all. How's everybody doing? Kayla, what's going on with you?
Woo, girl, let me tell you. It's like, nah, I'm fine. I still have laundry to do, so that's what I'll be doing after our show tonight.
Laundry, how exciting.
Yeah.
So, what's up with you, Carl? What's going on, man?
Man, listen, it's been a crazy long day, but a good day.
Right.
Good day.
Well, especially when you think about it as being Friday Eve, it's so festive when we say Friday Eve.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it adds a little more flair to the T word that we don't like to say.
It does, don't it? It feels good to say Friday Eve, but it feels really. It's horrible to say Monday Eve. It's like
Monday Eve.
Ooh.
Oh gosh, Larry, what's going on with you? What's good?
Nothing. I'm in the process of decompressing and refocusing. I'm taking some time off because I've been working my ass off for the last 6 months, and it was starting just to get to me. So I've taken some time off, and I'm working on some creative projects.
Good.
Yeah, I got, and then some shows that got canceled, I've got rescheduled. So I got people saying it's like, when you want to reschedule those gigs that we had to cancel. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm looking into getting back out there. So, yep.
I would just like to say as well, I think Larry's the only person I haven't seen live yet. So hopefully I'll be able to see you live this year.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, that's a good goal to have.
That's a good goal to have, like any 2020 stuff, because a lot of people are just saying screw 2020. They're putting up their 2021 dates, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Nah, 2020 is still here. Like I'm excited because there's a lot of stuff happening. Actually, Saturday too. Anybody around the Philly area, we're gonna be down at Raven Lounge, 12 p.m. noon. We're gonna do some comedy outside. So come check that out. I was invited.
Okay.
Good.
Is there food trucks out there? What's the food looking
Probably,
like,
but they have drinks.
What the food look like?
He's mad if food truck doesn't
But there's
show up.
other.
You are your mama's
Good
child.
idea.
If Mr. Softy doesn't make a drive-by, she gonna be pissed.
For
Yeah.
real.
I'm gonna be out there hot and hungry.
All I know is the drinks will be flowing because it's Raven, but that's a great idea. There'll probably be other restaurants that are opening that will then, you know what I mean, you can walk right down the street because it's right down Sansom, so everything is right there. So yeah, we're gonna do that. I'm gonna come pick you up, and we just gonna go Saturday.
Yeah, sounds good. I ain't doing nothing.
Right.
But still be careful out there, because a lot of places are opening up. Like a lot of places been open up for a few weeks now, and now you're seeing the news. There are like these coronavirus spikes in those same areas. So definitely be careful out there, because
we'll be wearing my mask for sure.
Right.
We're the people they want to see this virus wipe out.
Right.
That's
yeah.
true.
Well, and I always tell people you have to keep wearing your masks. That's going to be a thing, I think, all the way through the rest of this year. Actually,
I'm wearing mine next year. I don't care. I don't care if the virus is completely going to have a vaccination. I don't care. I'm still wearing mine.
You know what? I'm gonna start getting like fashionable ones. So I can coordinate my outfits with my mask.
Gotta
coordinate. You got to, for real. All right, so let's jump into this. Larry, I know we were talking about Dave Chappelle a little bit. Let's talk about it. What you think?
Did you see it?
I did. I loved it. It was amazing. He's amazing, and it wasn't even about being funny, but he was still naturally funny.
Well, that's the thing though. Like people, like people were going off about it. Like, Chappelle's the GOAT. He dropped a new special and everything. I was like, and I watched it, and while definitely Dave brought Dave's energy to it, and what he said was important, but like I have a problem with them calling it like a comedy special. Dave went up and he just basically gave a speech and a sermon, a much needed speech and sermon, because I know there's like a segment of his fan base that probably wouldn't give any type of thought to Black Lives Matter, even though it is Dave. So for that, it was important. But from a comedy standpoint, like anybody could have gotten up there, read the bullet points for the whole movement, and then say Candace Owens is a stinky pussy, and drop the mic and walk off.
That was funny, but it was organic how that happened though.
Right.
So I loved it.
And then it just felt weird too, seeing Dave perform. Like, did you see like the audience shots?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, and like it was just basically.
I liked it.
Like social distant pairs of two,
right?
Like on Dave's farm backyard.
I loved it.
Yeah. I was
they showed everybody pulling in. He had nice little, parking people, telling people how to park, and
temperatures.
Yep.
Temperatures and everything.
And and it was very organized, and I'm glad he did that, because it actually it showed us that that's what it's going to look like for a while.
But only Dave could get away with doing that. Right. Like that's Dave, like getting a standing ovation for something only Dave could get away with. I'm pretty sure DL probably would have like dug into that type of material, but kind of mined like some more laughs per minute out of it. Yeah, but the thing is, how can you, that also shows how hard it is, even as like the best comic on earth right now, when you come off the bench after 3 months, you're not in like, full on, Rocky Balboa mode. You're still like, you're working out some ideas. So So
but
like
what it was for me though, what I loved is he said it right up front. He said, this it's not funny, but we're going to talk about it because that's what we need to do. So like he's just a regular conversationalist. So it was just nice seeing him, and he broke down a lot of things, which was good. And he hit a lot of points where they needed to be hit. And for people who, and he did mention the drive-in comedy shows. He's like, yeah, so when people like the jokes, they honk the horn. He was like, I don't think that is the best idea.
Yeah, I mean, if I got invited to do something like that, like a car show, like if they were paying me what I normally would pay to get a show, I would go and try it.
Right.
But still, like, but if I'm not gonna go up and just do comedy for the sake of doing comedy, because comedy is hard even in the most perfect conditions. In adverse conditions, like, especially if you're not getting paid to do it, why even bother? Why lower the art form like that to like this post-apocalyptic level? That's why, like, I was happy to get offered to do an actual show in an actual club.
Right.
So I'm like, even if it's a few people, it's like I don't have to deal with like traffic noises in the distance, or like, or people who are on the periphery of the show being able to take in the show, and the possibility to disrupt it. It's a very volatile environment to do a comedy show in, even in the best of occasions. And I don't know why you would put, that many obstacles in your way just for the sake of doing a show.
Right. Yeah. But I also, like I said, I like how he did everything. So I love the organization of it. I love the responsibility that they all took to come out there. He even provided people with masks if they didn't have them. He had his own Chappelle masks available, which was dope.
I wonder what the ticket charge was. That I wonder how much it cost to go to that.
I don't know.
Was it like a freebie, or was it like?
It was probably like, I believe they were probably passing them
$500 a seat.
I don't think so. I don't think so. What else is going on? This Chris D'Elia debacle. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we can't. We as comics can't have nice things without like another comic just messing it up for us.
And for the people who don't know, can you kind of go into depth about that? Some people might not know about him.
So Christy, he is a successful comic who's got a bunch of Netflix specials, and it basically came to light. Somebody put him on blast because he was basically she alleges that he was grooming her when she was underage, when she was 16, to be like a hookup, like a sexual partner. And so now people are. Huh?
A concubine.
Yeah, concubine, or whatever.
Concubine.
So, and Chris is deep into his 30s. He's like twice her age.
Right.
So a lot of people are up in arms or just cracking jokes on him because of that. Because it's just another situation of people's skeletons just jumping out.
So I mean, he has Jerry Epstein syndrome. That's what I'm gonna call it.
Okay, yeah.
Let's call it what it is.
I mean, we back to what we always talked about. If you're gonna put one dude through the ringer for doing an old nasty underage nonsense, put you through the same thing, bruh.
Right. But we already know that that crime doesn't look the same for black men and white men. You know what I mean? So let's just and we don't have the same parameters set up as black people in this justice system with what we know already and what has been proven thus far with a lot of things. However, there are some baby steps that have taken place.
Yeah. Hey, but if it was Reverend D'Elia, it wouldn't even be an issue. He just, they would just move him to another state.
Right.
Pretty much.
Another.
Oh, you in Chicago now? Okay,
yeah.
Praise the Lord, there.
Right. Just send them right to another parish, and that would have been the end of it.
Nasty,
pretty much.
nasty.
It is. Kayla, go ahead. What are you thinking about it?
Well, first of all, I'm a little upset about it because I got put on to Chris Diella. I feel like I'm saying his name wrong every time, but
It's all right.
I got put onto him a couple of years ago, and like I thought his Netflix specials were funny. Like I was laughing at
Into
them.
it.
Like
Right.
I was really yeah, and I was like, oh, like I want to go see him live. Like he's funny. But you know, it's just upsetting when someone you like that's in the field of what they do and you like what they do and this type of stuff comes out. It's like it's just disappointing that you know people don't know just how to be loving, compassionate human beings and not be nasty. Like it's just you know, it's just hard to deal with every day.
A lot of demons out there. It's
I'm
wild.
just saying, look, if you're a comic, you know, you got to just put your nastiness out front, because like I guarantee you, no, look at what's his name? Like the comics that are up front about like how nasty they are, they're damn near bulletproof. Yeah, like his name is
I guess
I
once
forget
you
the guy's name. Short guy, shaved head, like loves transgender chicks.
Right.
Like
I know who you're talking about, Jim Norton.
Yeah. And like nobody could come out and say anything about him, and it would blow up his career, because he's like, yeah, I talk about how, you know, how perverted I am on stage. What can you do to me?
Right.
You know, but when you're Bill Cosby, Mr. Wholesome, Mr. like Jello Pudding.
Right.
You know,
So you gotta let that freak flag fly. Then I can't even say that.
But hey, Latisse, it used to be this comedian back in the day. We used to do the show over on 73. And this dude, I can't remember his name, but his set was so nasty, and he'd come down and he wanted to shake people's hands.
Right.
You didn't want to shake his hand. It was like, man, get out of here.
I remember that it was when it was Champs, which is now the Chickies and Pete's on.
Yeah, that was way back in the
day.
day.
Yeah, exactly.
A long time ago, and there was a room, the separate room off to the side. We used to do comedy there. I can't think of the dude though, and I know who you're talking about. Like he's definitely like he wasn't a comedian. I don't believe from the beginning.
I think he was just working out some of his demons.
Hold on.
Right. That is so nasty.
Right.
Yeah, he had this Helen Keller joke, man. I was like, dude, you going to hell. Like right tonight.
Right tonight.
just open up. There you go. Poof, you out of here.
Let's talk about these companies now that are changing their images. You know, now we have Aunt Jemima's get ready to be changed up. Mrs. Butterworth. I mean, you know, come on, who's next? Uncle Ben. What are y'all thinking about this?
Our kids ain't gonna know how to shop after this.
What'd you say?
Here's like the thing about it is like I feel like a lot of companies are trying to like get out in front of things,
right?
In front of like the Black Lives Matter issue, but in you know, in my point of view, it's like they're offering stuff we weren't asking for. Like everything about the last 2 months is about like we want an end to police brutality and racial profiling and racially motivated misconduct by police officers, and now everybody's just throwing all this other stuff at us that we weren't asking for, like their consolation prizes. You know, it's like, hey, look, that would have been great 20 years ago when we were asking about it 20 years ago, but now you're just like, you know, like NASCAR's like, oh, we're taking out in Confederate flags. Like we didn't ask you to do that. We didn't expect you to do that. You know, it's like, here's it comes, you know, Aunt Jemima. Oh, we're gonna change the logo, and then Uncle Ben's like, well, we're gonna change Uncle Ben's too. And now, like, you know, Mrs. Butterworth. I didn't know Miss Butterworth was black, but they're changing that too. And, I know.
Butterworth always.
And I'm like,
they had the cutest commercials. Remember, because she used to talk, and it used to be the little white boy at the kitchen table, and he'd be like, "Hey, Mrs. Butterworth, why do you taste so good?"
Hey, baby, let me tell you.
Yeah. And she was like, that little bottle would saunter over like, well, let me tell you, my recipe.
Miss Butterworth had hips. She had hips.
So my thing is though, like they're doing all this. What's going to happen to Annie, who is the spokesperson for Popeyes? What's up? Like I'm worried.
Look, I don't know.
Black
I think Flo from the Progressive commercials are going to take over her spot.
Oh gosh. But check this out. This is how they're doing it. It's like, okay, you take down Christopher Columbus posters, statues.
Yeah.
We get rid of Miss Ancient Mama. You get rid of all the Confederate stuff, and then you get rid of Miss Butterworth.
Lord,
Miss Butterworth, Ancient Mama, Uncle Ben, all out of work.
I mean,
I know, but it's like Steve Focus is like.
What about
it's like almost it's like we're on a game show. It's like, hey, we want equality, we want to end police brutality. It's like, yeah, but you didn't hit Plinko, so here's your supply, rice roni. Get the fuck on.
Like we playing pressure luck. No way.
Yeah.
But what about Zatarans? Listen, Zatarans has a whole black jazz band playing down the streets of New Orleans. They better not touch Zatarans. You feel me?
I don't touch Zatarans.
I'm cooking my rice. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
They ain't gonna salt the water. I mean, it's just
right.
Not salt the water.
It's gonna be blandest. Oh,
it's gonna be
that rice is about to come out so stale.
Look, I did a show once. I did a show once.
You can't make Zatarans rice without that song. You need that song. Yeah. Zatarans. Red beans and rice.
Yeah, I did a show once where they fed the comics, and I just remember sitting in the green room with the plate of food that, you know, and it was a all white audience, and everything. And they brought us the spaghetti. And I just remember just sitting there, you know, looking at, and I just would look at the comments like, there is nothing sadder than a plate of spaghetti made by white people. I'm sorry. It is just like the blandest. Not even like, if it was Italian, it would have been the bomb. But no, it was just like your garden variety, upstate New York white people, you know, of questionable ethnicity. And I was just like, and all I had to work with was a salt shaker and a pepper shaker. I was like, I got to make this work.
You poor thing.
That's the pearls.
You poor thing.
No grated Parmesan, no garlic, no garlic bread.
You got to pack on ramen noodle packs.
Wait, how did the meatballs taste? What did the meatballs?
It was meat sauce.
Yeah.
It was meat sauce.
No, they did you dirty.
Here's the thing: when you go to like a any type of like buffet situation, they basically spice it so that the people who have like, you know, the most mayonnaise of taste won't get their tongues blown out. So like, and now I just keep a bottle of hot sauce in my car at all times.
That's what I was about to say. That's what I mean. It ain't no joke. You got to carry some spices around with you.
Crazy, you have to carry Parmesan cheese.
Hey, Letice, shout out that comedian that used to do the Xanaran joke.
Steve Byrne, I think his name was.
When he used to do it, man, it was so funny, dude. So funny.
I wish I could remember that whole bit, but I can't.
You know, people have like a spice rack in their house. I have a hot sauce rack in my house.
Oh, see, that's dangerous. You probably got like 7 different degrees of hotness.
Yeah. Actually, tripped over. I was in Big Lots, and I was like, I got this ghost pepper hot sauce, and it is damn near radioactive.
No, thank you. No, sir. Not me.
You might well just eat your food in the bathroom.
Right.
Just grab your plate, sit on down, and
no.
Yeah,
this is my go-to is the sriracha.
Ooh, yeah. Sriracha's good.
Yeah, I got the big bottle. But if you were ever in Big Lots, stay away from this stuff. All right, I'm telling you, one drop of this will just like completely annihilate.
Ooh, no, I'm not.
You know, whatever you're putting it in, you need to put it in a lot of food. A little goes a long way. A little dab will do you.
See, that's the secret to Larry's weight loss.
That
red pepper stuff. That ghost pepper.
Yeah,
just sweating.
Burning bowel evacuations.
Oh, all right, so let's talk about social media and how that's affecting. And we're seeing like a lot of people come out. Carl, I know there was a couple posts that you had some interactions with. What was going on with that?
Yeah. So other morning I woke up and I got tagged in by some friends. I think Chris Cream was on there,
Oh yeah.
On my brother's post, and I just looked at it and went to sleep. But when I got into detail, it was some dude from overseas named Vlad. I mean, he Vladimir.
Vladimir. Okay, yeah.
So he was basically said, and it kind of pissed me off even had to mention it. He pretty much was talking about George Floyd that he said he should have been killed.
Yeah,
and he went
like I think I remember reading the post. He basically was blaming Black people for everything that has ever happened to us, and that we should. What did he say? Oh my gosh, because it was so like ridiculous that I literally started laughing so I wouldn't get angry. And I saw someone else had already did a laughing emoji on his actual post, so I was cracking up. But it was so ridiculous. He basically was like, it's our fault, and we the Black people shouldn't be interacting, or we should know when not to speak up, basically, is what
basically know our place, kind of a nonsense. So my brother chipped him apart a little bit, then Chris chipped him apart, then everybody was just like pat, 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 pat.
Right.
And then my brother was like, you know what, I'm gonna screenshot this, I'm gonna share it. And my brother, he's a musician, and he hired him to do a show.
Oh wow! No more shows for
in
him.
A gospel community. So now stuff is dropping left and right. And Larry, you was telling me the other day how cats be making stupid comments, and they're gonna start losing business because it's being done.
Gotten fired. This is what I think has really been interesting with social media. People are getting, they're showing their true colors, and then finally there's some consequences coming for that. People are getting fired from these jobs or potential jobs that they might have, had. There was an incident with a teacher from Miller's University out in PA, and literally, like, it spread like wildfire. And Miller's University actually commented and was like, this person is not welcome basically on our campus, and we don't agree with anything that she said. So what do y'all think about that? Like, finally people are like, they're posting this dumb shit thinking it's gonna be cute, or they're trying, to make a stance, and they're getting fired. What do y'all think?
Fire them.
Yeah.
I mean I've been fired for less.
Yeah, I mean, like, people like to complain about cancel culture, but you know what? If it's one thing if you were minding your own business, you got fired for doing something that you shouldn't gotten fired for. But when you are representative of a company and you're out there wilding out online and you're bringing heat on them, they're going to cut you loose.
Good.
It's the free market right there.
No matter what they believe or not, like, even if some people on the board are racist, they're still going to be like, oh no, we got to let her go. Like, she was too open about that. We need to let her go.
Right.
I mean, a lot of comics are afraid to come out in favor of Black Lives Matter because they know that, a lot of these clubs are owned and run by, right-wing leaning, bookers and owners, and they don't want to lose their gigs over something he said. But you know what? Honestly, if you don't want to book me in your club because of my liberal political views, fine. I didn't want to make money for you anyway.
Exactly. The other part of that is having your own integrity. Like, you're not going to tell me that me as a Black person that I don't have to worry about being killed for no reason. And I think it's ridiculous that there are people walking around that are so naive and still blind to what is actually happening, which is basically what Dave Chappelle was talking about. And he was very adamant, like, we see it, like, the streets are talking, which is good, because he said, you don't need me to tell you anything. He's like, the streets are talking and people are fed up. So it's like, no, we're not taking this anymore. And I wouldn't want to work anywhere where they didn't value everyone's life. So yeah, you can keep that. How about we open our own goddamn clubs? There's going to be a lot more Black-owned comedy clubs popping up. Trust me. It's already been
Yeah,
a surge.
get paid in cash though.
Right.
Yeah. I'm with you there, Larry.
Get paid in cash. Look, I love
Don't
us,
do that.
but damn it.
Don't do that.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
But
I'm
there's
gonna have an
really,
EBT club. Card machine.
there's some really serious Black-owned clubs that are starting to that have just recently been bought across the country. Like I'm seeing a surge. We have one Monique Latisse actually in up in Jersey City area in New Jersey. She bought her own club. Like it's exciting. Plus she's a Black woman. So I'm like, hell yeah, it's exciting. Another Black woman down in Memphis area. She starting her own club. Like, so they can keep their little stank ass white racist clubs. I don't give a shit. Like there are other places to perform. Like that doesn't scare me.
Yeah.
And I'll be damned if I'm gonna work somewhere where they want you on stage and then talking shit behind your back, or better yet, all the racial slurs and all of that. It's so played out. Like I can't even begin to, you know what I mean? Like it's cool. We'll make our own avenue for us.
Yeah, and then you got a lot of these comics. Like a lot of comics are talking about. It's like oh well, why the rioting and the looting, why all the lawlessness is like, well, when we were, protesting quietly and within the law, you weren't paying attention.
Right.
And you got pissed about it too. You cost like certain athletes their career because they were protesting, quietly and within the bounds of, what they could protest in. You had them run out the business. All right. So how long do we have to just do it the nice way before we're like, all right, fuck it, let's flip everything over?
Let's flip everything over.
Have you guys ever seen this video where it was a little girl being bullied by a really big girl? I mean, she had to be at least a foot taller than this girl. Mm-hmm. And that's what's been, you got to put it into like a visual concept. Mm-hmm. This little girl with all her might had to reach up and she hit this chick about like 5 or 6 times. Right. And knocked her out. That's what's happening. The little guys, so to speak, is reaching up and just popping things off. I mean, is it right? But it dang sure feels righteous.
Right. Oh man. All right. So let's go on to a little lighter note.
Please.
Okay, I know, right? Kayla, you were talking about a Netflix show that you're like hooked on, and I finally watched it. So talk about Dating Around is what it's called.
So I'm so excited to talk about this show because I feel like it's going to open up a little bit of conversation. Mm-hmm. So there's a show called Dating Around on Netflix. Season 2 is now out. So basically, every episode there's one person that goes on 5 separate dates, and I think it's within the same night that I discovered the other night because they're wearing the same outfit. So however they do that is how they do that, but they go on 5 separate dates, and then they end up picking one person to go on a second date with, and we see them together on the second date. So this show is basically, you're watching like live conversation. Like you're like, if you were on a date with somebody's literally just watching you and your conversation and like what is being said. Wow. And it's like nothing.
That is some whole ass love connection shit right there.
But nothing's being filtered. Like they're themselves. Like it's not a script, not anything. Like these are real people. Right. So I just wanted to talk about it because last week we were talking about like dating other comedians and things like that. Like, is it a thing where comedians can like date inside the comedian world, but then like also kind of like date multiple people? Like
That is a recipe for disaster.
It is.
Right. I had a whole spinoff in my head. So I just wanted to bring up this topic because I think this show is like really great. And also with the show, you know, it has Black women, Black men, it supports gay women, gay men as well. So you get to see like these different people dating outside of like their race, their ethnicity, like everything.
Yeah.
So it's really good.
I like this show. My like, it's funny though, because it's very interesting to watch people, and like you can see. So what I started to do was try to decide who that person was going to pick, like out of the 5 people, like before they actually showed it. And so that's how you make it fun for yourself, like try to figure it out. And most of the time I was right. And except that one time. So Kayla, let's talk about that one girl, Gurky. It was in New York.
Yeah, so the first season is based out in New York. The second season is based out of New Orleans.
Yeah.
So in the girl Gurky, she first of all was married before, but it was an arranged marriage because of her religion. She got into a heated discussion with one of the guys that she was on a date with, where he just couldn't understand the concept of like, well, he was saying like, oh, well, you lied in front of family and friends that you wanted to marry this man, but you really didn't actually love him. And he couldn't understand that, okay, it was part of her religion, because she said, well, we dated for so long, so I felt pressure from my family to get married. Mm-hmm. And I was just like,
Right.
I was like, I don't know. Like,
we forgot to mention, these are all blind dates, so they have never seen each other before. So they're meeting each other for the first time. Larry and Carl, have you ever gone on a blind date?
Yeah.
No.
What?
You did, Carl?
Yeah, years ago, I worked at a school, and the teacher I was working with, she's like, "You gotta meet my niece." Oh. And I was like, she's like, "She's a really nice girl, whatever." I was like, "All right." So I went to go meet her, and it was back in the day. I had a New Yorker Fifth Avenue, right? Mm-hmm. And I go pick her up, go out or whatever, and she didn't tell me that the girl was like 6'1" with no heels.
With no what?
With no heels on. She was like 6'1".
That's on. She was very tall.
Oh no.
So when she put her heels on, I'm like, yeah. So
some men like that.
Was that a deal breaker?
It was fine. It was fine, but it just wasn't a connection. But when we went to get out, she's like, "Let's take my car." So we go to get her car, and I'm going, "You got any clips? You like 6'5". You don't get yourself over in that New York or Fifth Avenue and stretch your legs out, have you all bent up like this."
But the thing about piggybacking off what we were talking about last week and dating with people that are similar to you, or like have the same type of like job or whatever the case, this girl, because of her religion, a lot of people that she dated in those 5 dates didn't understand her and like her story, and she ended up not choosing anybody from those 5 dates.
Yeah. Like nobody.
Yeah, she didn't pick anybody.
I love it.
And it's just like, okay, so like at a point in time, it's like, are you okay with being alone? Are you okay with knowing the fact that, not everybody's going to understand you or understand what you believe? Like, just like not everybody's going to understand that you have to stay at a club until 2-3 o'clock in the morning to do networking and like close a show. Like,
yeah, here's the thing you got to understand about comics. Like, yes, we need somebody who understands, what we do, but we also have the problem of like dating between comics is even harder than dating someone who's not a comic, because you have a bunch of factors that are going to work against relationship. There is the competition factor. All right. That if you're dating somebody who's in the same business and their star starts to rise and yours doesn't,
Yeah.
You know, even like
gel-
from the inside, that can tear your relationship apart. Even from the outside, you know, it looks like now you're dating somebody as a come up. You know.
Right.
Also, there's also the fact that if you fuck up, there's a good chance your significant other is going to talk about it on stage. All right,
That's a fact.
because that's what we do. We talk about the fucked up things in our life, you know, and we have on stage. So like that's like kryptonite to some people, knowing that like anything. Because I remember when Kanye broke up with Amber Rose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then she tweeted, you know, old finger in the booty ass bitch. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's what comics face when they date somebody who's also a comic. You know, it's like you never know when, like, if things go bad, like how much of your personal shit they're gonna turn into bits on stage.
Well, I've already decided off of watching this show that I'm gonna start a comic speed dating show, and I'm gonna get different comics to go on speed dates, maybe with other comics, but they're not gonna know that they're comics. And I'm gonna spin it that way, and then see how that goes.
That'd be hilarious. Can you imagine?
You are going to be a YouTube sensation on that one.
Call it the 5-minute light.
Yeah, the 5-minute light. That's perfect.
That's perfect.
Yes.
And everybody will be sitting there longer than 5 minutes because we all run the damn lights. So.
Like, Matisse, could you date somebody like in comedy who wasn't at your level?
It depends on what level they are.
They're below you. They're an open micer.
An open micer?
Yeah.
No.
They got maybe 5 to 7 minutes on the stage and maybe even less in the sheets.
No.
Less
and I don't know. And I don't want to be like that because you could meet, they might be the love, you know, that could be the love of my life in about 10 years. But I don't, that's so weird. Like okay. So as comedians, like we're so snobbish. It's not even funny. I try not to be this way. But a lot of us have a tendency to like not talk to people until we see what they do on stage. So it's a really interesting shift to watch because I've been on both sides of it where you come into a space and people don't know who you are. Right. So nobody really says anything to you. You rock the mic. And when you get off stage, then the comedians are like, oh, hey, you know, good set. Like then they want to talk to you and you're like, oh, now you want to talk to me because you know I'm funny, bitch. Like you should really like for me, I don't do that. And I think that's what happens and why I'm not in any particular clique, so to speak, because I'll speak to people. Even if I know they're not funny, but on top of that, if I've never seen them on stage, I will always say hello. What I don't do is lie to people though. Once they get off stage, if that shit was whack, then I'm just like, I won't say anything. I'm not gonna be like, oh, good set. No, we're not lying. You know,
I don't like people that come off stage be like, you know, how is that? Were you listening to the audience? All right, the audience told you how you were on stage. What do you need me? You don't need me to co-sign it. The audience told you everything you need to know about your act, homie. All right, so
that's the worst thing you could do. Like you have in comedy, you have people that you trust, and like I trust Letice. Letice was like, yeah, you need to just ride that joke out a little bit. You stepping on your own labs, son. And I'm like, all right, but somebody would hit me up and be like, somebody hit me up a few years ago. I told it to you. They was like, well, how was my set? I was like, well, I sent you some videos. Tell me what you think. And I was like, and I gave him the whole scenario. I was like, yeah, you need to work on your material a little bit more and stop stepping on your punchline. And don't try to overdo it. I can't remember everything, but they got so pissed off. They blocked me on Facebook. I was like,
I would just like to go on record. I would just like to go on record and say I did a small little 6 minutes. Okay, my like,
She was
you know,
amazingly
my back in the day, you know, little 6 minutes, and I got out of 5 stars. I think I did like 1.5, maybe. You
Oh,
know,
stop. No, you did more than that. Where
that,
first of all, well, your first open mic, you did 6 minutes. Then you had an actual show.
yeah,
You were very good at that show. So
with lots and lots of practice. But that's kind of my point, though. Like,
right.
if I know like I'm about to get on the stage and I'm looking at all these comics going up, and I'm a rookie and I've never been up on stage, I'll feel a little intimidated,
Yeah.
and that might hinder me from trying to speak to you if I want to actually date you, because then
Right,
I'm like,
right.
oh, like they're not going to talk to me, like like they know everybody in this room, they've been on stage, they're headlining, doing all types of stuff, like I can't compete, I can't compare. There's someone better than for them than
And
me.
Kayla, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you ever go up on stage and eat it, like and just bomb, and you come off stage and a male comic is like going off like you just blew up the room, stay away from him. All right, he's trying to get in your pants.
Yeah.
Facts. That's a fact.
Yeah,
You do not have time for people in this business who are not going to be real with you.
Yeah,
right.
That's a fact.
That's how you know for sure to definitely judge by that. So all right, so we're about 15 minutes to 8. Let's I want to give a shout out to we talked about this last week. It is Pride Month. But I wanted to let some people know, if you weren't sure. Now, of course, because of the coronavirus, everything is different this year. And one of the big parades is always the New York parade, NYC Pride. So this year they're doing a virtual NYC Pride, and it's going to be hosted by Carson Kressly, who I love. And so it's actually going to be broadcasted June 28th from 12 to 2 p.m. Up like from that area. So I think it's like WABC Channel 7 up there is holding it, but you could probably find out more information on that. But what I love about this, because some of my favorite people are going to be some of the Grand Marshals. So we have Dan Levy, who Kayla and I love from Schitt.
Yes.
Love him. So he is going to be on there. Also, performances by Janelle Monae, who we recently found out is dating our girl from Black Panther. Did y'all know that?
Is she?
Which one? Not Michonne.
Right.
The other?
Yes.
Okay.
The sister?
The sister or the love interest for Black Panther?
The love interest.
Okay.
Oh.
That's her. Yeah. So she's been a model for years, and now
forever.
Yep.
I love it. And Deborah Cox and Billy Porter and a whole lot more people. So like I'm actually super excited. This year is actually the 50th anniversary for New York, the NYC Pride. So it's very special. And even though it has to be done virtually, I still think the support and the love probably come through anyway. So happy Pride Month, y'all. We support y'all.
Yeah.
So let's get into the national calendar days real quick before we get out of here, because there's some important dates coming up. And this used to be a pet peeve of mine, and now I'm like obsessed with it. So because we come on at 7 on Friday Eve, I always like to give tomorrow what you can celebrate, and it's very important. Friday is going to be super, super dope. But today it's National Go Fishing Day. I don't know if you went fishing, but if you did, congratulations.
Can I play Go Fish?
Yeah.
Yes. Get some cards out. Go do it.
Definitely.
Can I get to drop your Long John Silvers or something? I mean,
it's also National Splurge Day. I wish I had known before. I did not have any money today.
This is not the gear.
Yeah, not the day for that.
I might go to the store and get a big bag of Swedish fish. That'll be about.
Although some of the stores are back open. I was driving around the other day, and Foreman Mills is open, and like all the anchor stores in the mall at Deptford Mall are open, but you can't walk around the mall, but you can go into the big department stores.
One of my very good friends, Keisha, she was at Nordstrom Rack in Voorhees earlier this week, and we're going to the one in King of Prussia tomorrow. This girl's got a problem. She's like, "You coming with me?" I'm like, "I guess." So
I guess
Her stimulus check gonna be gone.
It's also National Career Nurse Attendance Day, which is really important. Anytime I see nurse, I mean, everybody in the medical field right now has been doing so much. They are our heroes. They're working hard. They're in the trenches. And hopefully we can get this coronavirus under control. So check it out, though. Tomorrow for Friday, there is a lot more to be excited about. First, this one I thought was like super cute. It's Garfield the Cat Day tomorrow, y'all.
Oh, Garfield.
So I think actually in commemoration, we should all just have lasagna. That's probably the best move.
Yeah. Wait. When does Boondocks have its own day? Because why does Garfield get its own day?
There's a way we can do that. There's a little bit of paperwork to be done, but we can file for the Boondocks to have
I want National Boondocks Day.
Right. All right. Let's get it. Let's make it happen. For those of you who like to partake in good old martini, tomorrow is National Martini Day. If you like it shaken or stirred, I don't know.
That's martini singular, right? It's not martini day because I don't want you going overboard, passing out the rack in Nordstrom. That's a long drive back from King of Prussia.
We have to celebrate tomorrow regardless, and when I get to it, y'all know why. But tomorrow is also National Watch Day. So I'm not too big on watches anymore, but some people are. So partake in that. It's also Wear Blue Day tomorrow. I got a day early. I'm wearing my blue already.
Okay, blue.
That's what they say before Father's Day. So happy Father's Day is coming up.
Oh, Father's Day. What's that? Oh my God.
Hey.
My bad, Grandpa. My bad, Grandpa.
It's also National Flip Flop Day tomorrow. Okay, so you can sip a martini, put your flip flops on, and eat the lasagna tomorrow.
That sounds like a good time.
If you haven't cut your toenails since the beginning of this pandemic, don't you put no flip flops on those flips.
I have my Eagles flip flops on right now, y'all.
Yeah, I told you how I feel about flip flops.
So cute. Look at these though. These are amazing.
You don't like flip flops, Larry?
See?
You are not.
Those are not flip flops.
You are not ready for anything to go down.
They are.
Those are not flip flops.
Eyes are too uncertain to be rolling around with your toes out.
Okay, last but not least, y'all should know. Tomorrow is Juneteenth. Okay. Yeah. For y'all who don't know why we celebrate Juneteenth, basically the Emancipation Proclamation, right, was signed January 1st of 1863. So that was supposed to knock out slavery. The reason why Juneteenth is so important because even in 1863, a lot of the slaves down south still didn't know that this was a thing. They didn't find out until June 19th of 1865 down in Galveston, Texas, that they had been freed for pretty much.
Hey, there are some people down south still don't know.
Yeah, I feel you on that. So that's why we celebrate Juneteenth, and then during that time, after that, the 13th Amendment was ratified to abolish slavery by December 6th of 1865. So all that is important. So I'm definitely celebrating tomorrow. Happy Juneteenth, happy Pride Month, all that.
Juneteenth, everybody.
And we're gonna do this up. So last week, we didn't do the celebrity birthdays, so I kind of have like earlier this month, and I have some for this basically today and tomorrow and the 20th because I like these people who I saw. So let's go back. June 9th was actually TD Jake's birthday. He is 63 this year, y'all.
Ooh.
Yeah. Get ready.
I know. It was also Sasha Obama's birthday, y'all. She turned 19 on the 10th of June.
Go Sasha.
Like we literally watched this little girl grow up.
Pretty much.
She's the youngest Obama right now. Kodak Black, who's 23.
Free my guy. Free my guy.
Right. And he's famous for that song "No Flocking," right?
Don't ever say that ever again, Mom. I'm so sorry. Don't ever say that.
Tell me what that means. What is that?
listen to a song, please. Just listen to it.
I gotta look it up.
Right.
Yeah, just listen. Okay. Just listen to it.
So this one, I don't know if y'all remember Dawson's Creek, right? The show Dawson's Creek.
Mm-hmm.
Our guy Joshua Jackson turned 42 last week.
Which one was he?
Joshua Jackson. He was on Fringe, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
He got older, but back in the day, it was Dawson's Creek. He was Joey's boyfriend. Well, Joey had both the boyfriends, not the blonde, but the brown haired guy.
Oh, okay. The one with the curly hair.
Yes. The reason why I like this was because I found out that he is actually married to a black woman. I knew he was down with the brown.
Okay.
I could feel it. I knew he was down with the brown. I was like, oh, I could meet
down with the brown.
Right. He's down with the brown. So they were married in 2019 and they just had a baby in April of this year. So his wife's name is Jodie Turner Smith, who is her own actress in her own right. So he got
her right before the pandemic then. Good for him.
For real.
That's great.
So today's, guess whose birthday it is today? Nathan Morris from Boys to Men, y'all.
Oh, well.
Right. You know what?
She said,
He's one of the guys in the group, right?
Hype it up like happy birthday. Like,
yeah, happy birthday. Yay.
The group. What are you hating on Boys and Men for?
I don't know. I thought she was about to say someone like other than that. So I got a little like
one of them little young rappers.
Ain't that a bitch, man? You can sell 50 million albums and
right?
Younger generation don't give a damn about you.
I didn't say I didn't like Boys to Men. I'm just saying, yeah, happy birthday.
Oh
you probably got conceived to a Boys to Men song.
Right.
No. No. Mm-mm.
Oh, I'm sorry. What song do you think you were conceived to?
I don't want to think nor condone that behavior, okay?
Oh, gosh.
None of it.
Okay, good. So
that behavior is why you're here. I'm just saying.
Tomorrow, guess who's celebrating birthday? This woman is amazing, and she doesn't look anywhere near her age. Felicia Rashad.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, I think she's like close to 70 at this point, and she looks all of 55.
She is not 70, child.
Theo's mama.
Yes. And last but not least, on Sunday, Lionel Richie. Or actually Saturday, whatever the 20th is. I'm losing track.
It's Saturday.
Can Kayla name a Lionel Richie song?
Huh?
Kayla, name 3 Lionel Richie songs.
Oh, I can't.
That's
damn. Come on, what are you teaching this girl? Damn.
Me, I know. That's not good.
Not 3.
But that's not my fault, though. That's not my fault.
That is your fault. That is yo.
No, it's not. I can't take the blame for that. So happy birthday if you're celebrating a birthday. It's still Gemini season, boo, and y'all living your life. Go ahead.
I would also, this isn't on your list.
Oh my God.
This isn't on your list, Mom, but I would like to shout out Remy Ma. She's a rapper. Her birthday just passed as well.
That's true.
She's a Gemini, so happy birthday to her.
I love how Kayla doesn't think we know who the hell Remy Ma is.
I mean, y'all don't think I know who the Three Stooges are.
Oh my gosh. All right, so let's do our social media. Kayla, you can kick it off. Just let people know where they can find you, even though it is scrolling on the ticker. Please
follow me on Instagram, Satora_K. You can see how it's spelled at the bottom right there. Also, just follow me on Instagram.
Yes, please do that. Larry, you are up.
Okay, I got an online Zoom show this Saturday at 7:00. You can go on my Facebook page, LarryXL, or my Twitter at LarryXL, or comedian LarryXL on IG to get the information on it. It's a $5 show. I'm like the the last comment before the intermission, and then the amazing Tony Woods closes out the end of the show.
I might hop over there and watch that one.
Yeah. So check that out. LarryXL.com.
Awesome. Carl, you are up.
Oh, nice. All right, y'all. Just read the bottom. Check me out, y'all. Oh, and stay tuned, and I'll let everybody know we have a couple church gigs coming up.
Nice.
Some are going to be online, but we got some that's been pushed back towards the end of the year. Hopefully everything will be a lot better, but I'll make sure everybody knows, because it would be a nice way to get everybody out and do some things.
Dope.
Love it.
And of course, follow us, like us. Our Facebook and IG is now scrolling. So I will tell you that you can find me under Latice Comedy, LATICE Comedy, on all platforms. And if you would be so kind as to follow my other Facebook page, which is Latice Jokes, that would be amazing. So this was fun. I'm not going to forget, we have the message of the week. So I want y'all to take this with you. It's a very, I always like to find really, really good quotes, because I think it's important. And it kind of helps people. So the message of the week for this week is don't stress over something in the past, because there's nothing you can do to change it. Focus on your present and create your future.
Love it.
Word. So, we do this every Friday Eve, 7 p.m. Y'all can please subscribe to our YouTube page and our Facebook, like that. You'll get the notifications for when we are live. We do this every week. Love doing this. So glad that the crew is back together. Any last words y'all want to say?
No.
You like that? What'd you say, Carl?
She was like, no.
All right, so they do have some homework though. Make sure y'all check out, if you haven't already watched Dave Chappelle on YouTube. It's called 846. Please watch that. It's only 28 minutes of your life. Make sure you watch that. It's very important. Also, check out some Netflix stuff. We were talking about Dating Around. It's a really funny show.
Schitt's Creek. Go watch that if you haven't watched it.
Please.
Oh, by the way, this weekend, HBO streaming is letting people, you don't have to subscribe to HBO. You can watch The Watchmen for free all weekend.
Oh yeah, that's
and a lot of it, a lot of the plot is based around the Tulsa riots.
The Tulsa massacre. They destroyed that town. Thank you for bringing.
And Regina King is in it too. Yeah. So that is
nice.
That's nice. Love her.
The Watchmen is dope. And actually, my dudes, Rob hit me onto this from Rob and Slim. They have their own podcast that they do on Wednesdays. Amazing, funny dudes. I've been on it, been on their show several times. We're definitely gonna have them on here after the summer is over. And they put me onto The Watchmen, and I love that show. So good recommendation, Larry. All right, so this has been Funny Bits Podcast. You guys are amazing. Just hang out, guys. Don't leave yet. We gotta play this out and let the people know what's up.
Still trying to hear your freestyle.
Make sure, yeah.
Go ahead, Latice.
Be like, well, my name is Peaches, and I'm the best to feel my breath.
You can't steal someone else's rhyme.
I can't. Why not?
That's not how freestyling works, mother.